What's up there, you guys? Your man Joe came around just to find that you need to know. So today that we're going to be doing an article that seemed to be this is not as much talked about. Um, this is what happens when my parents moved in. Since there's a lot of videos about kids moving out, stuff like that. Maybe we should get into the subject of parents moving in with their kids. Mm. When we built our home 11 years ago, my husband and I were committed to having my parents, then their mine in their mid 70s, can come to live with us. We built them an in-law apartment that is nearly 1,000 square feet with a kitchen, a laundry, faculties. My parents were fully independent at the time. But my husband and I felt it was better to be prepared for their decline and avoid scrambles if an issue arose. I natively imagined that my folks would be unable to go anywhere or do much of anything on their own as they age. I saw myself sitting next to my beds, helping them eat and give them medication. I thought I might hire woman from the nearby Monte Mennonite community. I'm sorry if I spelled that wrong or if I said that wrong. To help me take care of their daily needs. The reality was that they were quite independent for nearly a decade. They came and went on their own schedule, did their own shopping, went to the doctor appointments, ate out, and even took short trips to visit family, because we share an entrance to our laundry room. Sorry. They would often pop their heads into my kitchen saying hello on Sundays. On Sundays, we would share a family meal, and my dad would mow mow our yarn. 11 years has passed since my parents moved in. The sudden death of my brother, who was age 50 years old, has sped up their aging process and brought on some depression, particularly in my father. Although dad jogged up until a couple of years ago, he uh, he had he no longer even takes walks. He spends hours, sometimes the entire day, in his recliner watching TV or sleeping. Once adamant about not giving his driver's license, my father rarely drives further than 3 miles away, and only in the daytime when the weather is fair. My mom has come overwhelmed with taking care of his medication and his doctor visits. So I'm in charge of those tasks now. They rely on me more and more. The consequences of living with aging parents. When my husband when my husband and I decided to move my parents in with us, I didn't consider that this would shut the door to our refuge, even our own private quarters. My parents and I still share a common entrance. I often need to run up to their apartment at the odd hours of the day and night. Sometimes I'm on a call or busy working in my home office when there is a knock on my door because they need something. Just the other night, it was after 9 o'clock when I climbed the stairs to their apartment to fill Dad's pillbox for the week, browsing our free senior care guides. I relent I relish a little break now and again, but that recites isn't available always be possible when those you care for is in your home. I know that it I know that when I need to relax and wind down, one and the other one or the other of my parents might need something. And I have to shift back into caregiving mode. This is the biggest adjustment I had to make in my caregiving experience. My home isn't my own. Sorry, my home is not my own, and it is certainty, not my refuge, my safe space. There are a few more things I didn't anticipate when we made this decision. Being in being in being an on-call cook. As my mom health declining, it's became harder for her to cook healthy, balanced meals. I knew that they needed help, so I tried to share my leftovers or extra portions to share with them. That wasn't enough. I felt guilty every day, knowing they weren't always eating right. But I always, but I was not ready to commit to cooking for them full time. Thankfully, I found a program through a local hospital that provide hot, nutritious, and tasty meals for a phenomenal fee. My dad is stable and make the 3 mile drive to a local senior center to pick up these meals. However, one day soon that no longer be the case, especially in the winter months, and will need to figure something else out. Taking care taking on care new ta- sorry taking on new care task. My parents have gotten older. Their coping mechanisms have deceased. Simply tasks are no longer easy. They are impatient. They get impatient and less tolerant with each other. My mom was the one who always managed my dad's medication and doctor's appointments, but it has become too overwhelmingly for her. Though these are now my task. Protecting against poor decisions. Older folks can often act like teenagers. I'm not talking about listening to loud music or partying. They increasingly make dangerous and unwise decisions due to their diminished skills. My mom has gone out on most frigid winter days without a hat or gloves. And my dad will come down the stairs wearing shoes that aren't buckled, catering to different needs. No, no two people age the same way. Their individuals' need and cap- capabilities or lack thereof, or capabilities, sorry, or the lack thereof, are very different. My work, my work as their caregiver is doubled because I have to teach each one differently. My mom is still sharp as a tack, but lacks the physical strength and ability she once had. My father, on the other hand, has more physical strength than my mom, but his cultivative skills have diminished. Pursuing perfection. I've never expected that I would often be my own worst enemy while providing care. I frequently pass unrealistic expectations on myself, trying to be the perfect daughter by meeting their every need. And sorry, I have to be extremely intentional about maintaining a healthy balance, even if I don't think I have the time. I've committed. to take, yeah, those type of classes, twice a week, and seeing considered to help me work through my challenge. Every caregiver needs me time. True. Becoming a Jane of all traders. Caregiver means I performed the tasks like cutting their nails, trimming my dad's hair, buying their groceries, and washing their clothes. There is a lot of learning and multitasking involved. Giving, going with the flow. Caregivers need to be able to change the plans to at the drop of a hat. For an example, my husband and I decided it would be fun to throw a party for our 35th wedding anniversary, but unexpectedly complications from dad minor surgery meant we had to cancel the celebration at the last minute. Turn this turn of events reminded me of my days raising young children. When they got sick and had an accident, it didn't matter at it didn't matter that you had something important planned. You just roll with the punches. Acknowledging the need for support. I though I'd be able to take care of my parents on my own, but the real unrealistic but that's unrealistic, sorry. Caring for two aging loved ones and maintaining a healthy and balanced professional life is it's not possible. Support eventually becomes necessary. Okay, realizing the effects of stress. By virtuing for being a caregiver, my life could have been shortened as much as 8 years, according to a 30-year-old study conducted by Ohio State University and the National Institution on Aging. The results were published on the Journal of Immunology, and high tax link between psychological stress and weakened immune system, mental and physical self care um, as paramount for a caregiver. Hidden benefits of I just want to know how long this is. Hidden benefits of living with aging parents. I'm sorry. Let me pause it for a minute. Okay. Um, the hidden benefits of living with aging parents. While care for two parents has been twice as exhausting, there's another brighter side to consider. Caregiving has afforded me to before the unexpected gift of connecting with my parents, especially my father, in a way that I could never before. When it was just dad and me going to see the going to his doctor's appointments, or stopping for a bite to eat. We chat, joke, or just share some comfortable silence. This would not have been possible if my parents haven't moved in. What more? Both of my parents tell me repeatedly how grateful they are for my help. My dad has even started calling me Angel, and I am very much aware that these memories are in the making experience I would cherish long after they are gone. uh The reason why I wanted to get into this article, because I see a lot of videos that it's about, people, adults trying to move out of their parents' homes. But sometimes I just often wonder, what about, people that have their parents live with them, see how their struggles were. So anyways, it's your man Joe. See you guys in another video. So okay, all right.